goes also to the United States of America in the form of reimbursement. Well, no, we're going to have presence in Venezuela as it pertains to oil, because we have to have, we're sending our expertise in. So you may need something, not very much. But no, we're going to be taking out a tremendous amount of wealth out of the ground. And that wealth is going to the people of Venezuela and people from outside of Venezuela that used to be in Venezuela. And it goes also to the United States of America in the form of reimbursement for the damages caused us by that country. So I want to thank. Well, no, we're going to have President.
First and foremost, I'd like to give our praises to
we are in the midst right now, and in fact,
Sham Rakakdash, double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing us word in sincerity and truth. Your brother, you sat back at you with another lesson. Well, let it define. You know, this ain't gonna be no big long lesson, but more or less keeping it straight to the point. Because hey, as we have seen, since this whole situation have been taking place with Venezuela and Trump, first it started off with, you know, well, it had the $25 million bounty on Maduro's head, the president of Venezuela. Then we see, well, they started, they come up with a campaign about sending the troops and whatnot, right, to stop drug trafficking to the United States coming from Venezuela. So they were blowing up and deleting a lot of so-said narcotic traffickers and whatnot. It was about 115 and numbers climbing that were deleted. Then, because hey, that's why this devil can never be trusted. These Edomites, they're born speaking lies. They're born speaking lies, right? Because first of all, it's not about resources and not about the oil, but look how many American citizens being killed yearly over these drugs and whatnot. And also, after deleting that amount, he then said about what he then spoke about. He gonna attack and stop them up on land. On land as well, he gonna cut them off and stop them. You know? But hey, when they get rid of the president Venezuela, Maduro, having in custody and whatnot. Hey, here's the devil out speaking bold. His true plan, his true intention.
about to execute on a deal to take all the oil. They have oil that is stuck in Venezuela. They can't move it because of our quarantine and because it's sanctioned. We are going to take between 30 and 50 million barrels of oil. We're going to sell it in the marketplace at market rates, not at the discounts Venezuela was getting. That money will then be handled in such a way that we will control how it is dispersed in a way that benefits the Venezuelan people, not corruption, not the regime. So we have a lot of leverage to move on the stabilization front. We are in the midst right now and in fact about to execute on a deal.
That he coming with his smooth words. Well, we know they are no intention.
Venezuela as it pertains to oil. It's going to be...
Oh, wait, let me get this right. So we went to Venezuela to stop the drugs from coming into America, and we're keeping Venezuela so we can fucking strip mine it and sell their oil. Got it. Oh, wait, let me get this right. So we went to...
I think it's time America. Trump president won't be a dictator. Here, we're not happy.
There is no war against Venezuela.
And we'll be starting, as everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela. Getting land, oil rights, whatever we had, they took it away because we had a president that maybe wasn't watching. But they're not going to do that. We want it back. They took our oil rights. We had a lot of oil there. As you know, they threw our companies out, and we want it back. Getting land, oil rights, whatever we had, they took it away.
if you still think the US attacked Venezuela over drugs or oil, you're already lost in the decoy timeline. What if I told you the entire strike?
Yeah. So basically you're seeing it being made clear. But hey, now they're coming with the smooth words, about they're gonna use the oil and sell it in the market and they're gonna benefit the so-called Venezuelan people and these things. But the scripture already warns us. Sirach 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy. They are your enemies. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Because iron would never stop rust. You have iron out there, not painted, no coating over it. The weather, it would start to rust and deteriorate. So just as man, because the Psalm 58 talks about them. The scriptures say Psalm 58 and 3. Now is that Yea, in heart ye work what wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Because you see how they execute, how they executed. He spoke about the many deaths, the deletings in Caracas, so the little bombings and whatnot, and he spoke proud and said, hey, executing the operation, the officers that were injured, they all good on his side. It say the wicked are estranged from the womb. So since they're born, since birth, they go astray as they be born, what? Speaking lies. Yeah, that's what they do. They speak lies. So all this nice talk about the oil, they're gonna sell the oil for the Venezuelan people and all these things. Hey, look at the history. Have you ever seen Babylon done anything like that? Or have you ever seen Babylon pass through our country and left it in a good state? No. It's all about them. It's their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the adder that stop with the air. No end there. There's a Psalms 55. Psalm 55 and 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. Because, hey, you literally see Maduro, hey, crying out, shouting, singing, no war, peace. No war, peace and whatnot. Right? But yet they didn't care because they had their objective. Right? And this they are covenant breakers. They would come with the smooth words, make you think, well, it's all good. They putting things in place for you, and then they're gonna execute their plans upon you. Right? Yeah. Right, because when you look at the same John talks about they being the father of lies. Right? John 8:44, because that is a part of his characteristics. It all the scriptures say the born speaking lies. So hey, as a little high you make the statement that hey, how could you be able to tell a Edomite, a so-called white man, telling a lie? Because hey, by the time he moving him out, by the time he uttering or making a statement, he's lying. John 8:44, ye of the Father, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father will ye do. He was a murderer from the beginning, but the same spirit upon him was upon Cain. And he murdered Abel. And he's speaking on that. When and this is to show you the fact of it. When Abel, when Cain slew Abel, when the Lord asked, where's thy brother? If I read. Yeah, Genesis 4:9. Well, after he murdered Abel because of jealousy, and he didn't like the connection that he and the Most High had. And same thing in this time. Esau don't like how Jacob get the birthright. Like Esau in his spirit, what he did when he father passed, he said the time for mourning for my father it ended, and now I'm going and what slay my brother Jacob. Same spirit. Genesis 4 and verses 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. So he lied. What he did is the father of what? Lies. So even just imagine you could come, the Lord who knowing all things, and he would come and lie to him. He would come and lie to him and say, you don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? Right? Yeah. So he blatantly lied. That's why the scripture talk about you Edomite, in the land of uprightness. My God. Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be showed to the wicked. So if favor was shown for you so-called white men, that you all would enter into the kingdom not as slaves and what. Yet will ye not learn righteousness. You wouldn't be able to upkeep it. You would never be able to upkeep it. In the land of uprightness will he deal what? Unjustly. You will deal unjustly in the land of uprightness, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. So you ain't gonna have no fear for the Lord. You ain't gonna have no honor for the Lord. Nothing. Neither for Yahweh Shai. Right? So this is to just show you the characteristics of this man. So here it is, he come now and coming while telling you about the oil. You're gonna sell it and make it benefit the people. You all gonna believe him? You can't believe that devil. Right? But the same Psalm 55. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. So here it is, he's coming with all his smooth words. Oh, it's for the Venezuelan people and whatnot. And hey, let's play it back. Wow.
Is this someone?
Even lost that. Well, it's all good. So, right? So, hey, this man, they basically, hey, they could never trust him because, as I said, when they went into Afghanistan, into Iraq, hey, they came with the propaganda, the propaganda, the slanders, to get what they wanted, you know? So it says words that were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So that is his intentions. Already Habakkuk. Am I get that? Habakkuk 2. Talk about Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man by all his philosophies. Neither keep it at home. So instead of he be there dealing with his affairs, he came quite onto this Western hemisphere, you know. Came quite across on the side to the Caribbean, you know, to take a man who they say is a dictator and all he brings out that this dictatorship and you ruling the people not the right way and all these things, who enlarge it his desire as hell. Because that was his true intentions, the end all be all game. That's why he talk about that 30 to 50 million barrels of oil. They want that to benefit America, to benefit itself. Because according to the prophecies, it's all about what? Hey, Trump said out of his mouth, make America great again. We would have healed Babylon, Jeremiah 51. But she's not healed. Forsake her. It's and it's as what as death. So anyway he go, he brings forth. That's why he represents a sword. Going back into the Genesis. By what the sword shall he live. Right. Genesis 27:40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break the yoke from off his neck. So this is how choose violence. That is how he is able to actually to gain all of these resources through violence. And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So this lessons are the final praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Yeah, and we're looking on, because we know according to the prophecies, Babylon is gonna anger these nations that they're gonna be left with no choice but to burn out fire. Right? So, with that, all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Until the next, Shalom.